Fucking American, I swear. Let's
Top of
go.
the morning. Top of the morning.
Uh, Yo, what the fuck up, Crazy Nation? It's your boy SB repping Kraayziie. You know what it is? I'm back again with another episode of Crazy Discussions. I'm with the homies. Yo, say what's up?
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Blackbird, and hope every one of you doing alright.
Yo, what's up? Mercaset here. Ciao.
Yes!
Yeah, let's go.
Fucking oath!
Good gang.
Alright,
And
let's,
gang.
let's get this shit started the right way. What's your definition of horticulture? Each one.
You want to go
To me,
Yeah, to
to
you.
me it is the platform of people who get to demonstrate themselves, like promote themselves, and like it is kind of like I said, it's like a platform for people who like get to be themselves and be seen and be inspired by people who are looking for inspiration, I reckon, in the creative scene, whether it's in the industry or the underground. And it's like, yeah, it's so cool because, like I said, been watching it since like before I even met you,
Mm.
and it's like so cool to see like people that I follow or like inspired by, and see them talk about themselves. And like I said, it's like it's a great opportunity, I reckon, for creatives. Like honestly.
No.
Yeah, it's
Woo!
lit. That's lit. Fuck
what,
with that.
what about you, Mac?
Fucking. What was it? Culture?
What is your definition of for the culture?
For the culture.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like in being in the scene, like Sydney scene,
Mm.
like musically and diversity, and just kind of like everyone has something to offer, and like yeah, it's like for the culture. And I think of just like music coming up in 2019 and 2020 and now, and yeah, kind of on those vibes.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. But what's yours, like Blackbird? Like the word, like the phrase. What would your definition for that be?
I was just thinking about it.
I know, I know, I
It's
know.
to me, it's like, bro, it's like, in a sense, family, in a guess. Like, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, cause it brings like, yeah, creative people together and like, bro, like, just growing up and like, cause when you're young, you try to adapt to your environment, right? And then you get
Yeah.
older, and then you just kind of like, yo, thankfully, I'm not like, I'm glad that I'm different type sense, like in a sense, and like you meet other people who are like doing the same thing, and it's kind of like, it really does bring people together, like.
Mm.
Honestly, like other artists, like even like Johnny and Bart, like, bro, honestly, it's so cool.
Shout
And
out.
even, bro, you have like Discord like channels, like a different thing from like artists and producers from like all over like Australia.
Yeah.
Like
Like
it
to me,
is in a
that's what
sense
is
like, you
for
know.
the culture is. It's I like for me, a big word to me for the culture was I was listening, I was watching a series and it was about Grandmaster Flash.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he's like one. They say that he's like the person that created hip hop, and
Mm,
like he understood the breaks and all that stuff when it comes to like
yeah.
DJing and stuff like that. And there was always a phrase he would say, and it's each one teach one. And to me, like I was talking to like I had Howie on here earlier, and I remember saying to him, I'm like, what's the point of learning something if you're never gonna teach it to anyone?
Believe that.
Like when we talk to
Disciple.
each other, we always learn something new off each other, and we tell other people that we know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like even the conversation that we had 2 nights ago. with Jit. Shout out to Jit.
Yeah, that's true.
like even now, like conversations like that where hey, shout out to Johnny. Check out the merch.
Check out the merch.
Check out the
That
merch.
was Johnny.
Oh
Johnny from the
shit! Shout out
birds.
Johnny. Gang, go cop that shit, boy.
Hey.
It's so comfortable, bro. It smells so good. Like, I love new clothes,
Oh, that's what I feel like.
but it's like it's really loose, like baggy type shit.
But yeah,
And
bro,
it's kind of
like,
like
I felt like
Ooh.
that's a big part of the culture as well. Like just
mm,
having the conversations with people. Like we had the conversation before when Jit jumped on, like how I was
yeah,
showing you that artist, and I was just like, yo, I'm like, what is this? Like, and even Merc just started singing. You jump on, you jump
Bro,
on, you
nice,
jump,
man.
you jump on the group chat, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like Merc's singing, like without no care. He's just singing best part, and you're just like, what just happened? Like, and it's like that's the feeling, bro. And like, especially talking to that person, I feel like I've learned more about like when I do my reactions to feel more about the music. Like when I listen to music now, like I went back to listen to Elevate and Team Rocket, and like I felt different to how I felt when I reacted to it.
yeah.
Which is like I actually felt like a feeling towards it. And I was just like, yo, like what the fuck? Like this is why like you do that, right? It's like
Hundred percent.
why do you make music? That's another question. No, seriously. What like why do
Oh,
you
You
that's
make
the
wanna
music?
question
Yeah,
right
answer?
now.
yeah. Like why do
Yeah,
you
yeah. You wanna answer? You go first. But you want me to go first? Who goes first? Or we'll do it. I'll do go first.
Scissors paper rock.
I'll go first.
Go, Mike. Go.
But wait, what was the question again?
Why do you make music?
Why do I do music? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like I feel like personally it's like a healthy outlet, you know, and I feel like for expression and sound and utilizing your voice and beats or instruments, you can express a certain feeling in a healthy way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But yeah, it's like yeah, I do it because I love it. It's my passion, and it's my reason of being on this earth. You know.
Mm.
So yeah.
What about you, punk? Punk.
Easy to say is my music is kind of like, bro. Music is just kind of like heroin to me, in a sense.
What a
Like
fucking phrase.
Whoa, that's
bro, it's like
lit.
your favorite drug, bro. It's like I know, man. Like started off, I started off like like writing
Heroin,
poetry,
Golden
and
State.
like simply writing poetry is like I was able to put all my weight, like all my thoughts, into this piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? And from poetry, like I used to, before I even like gave it, like I really was into like music. I used to watch like a lot of like rap battles online, and I was like singing like, bro, it's like so heavy what you can say to someone. Like you could say something like so intense to somebody that you can make your opponent like choke,
Yeah.
like not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it slowly transitioned. Like obviously when you start being inspired by other people and like seeing how they can like put this feeling into like a couple words and like instruments playing, and it's like making you feel a certain way. And yeah, man, I was really gravitated towards like alternative music. Like, you know what I'm saying? My first early inspirations were like My Chemical Romance, like Green Day and all that. And they made so many like music that like speaks to you, like not only like through words, but like through feeling. That's when you know it's like good music, when it speaks to you, not just kind of like through words in a sense. And bro, I've experienced a lot of different things, and I try to put all that experience or like those thoughts, those feelings into like something more positive,
Mm.
I guess. And yeah, bro, like I just always knew I had like a lot to say. Like I'm a deep thinker myself, and I feel a lot of different ways, bro. Like so, like music is basically like my medicine, bro. You just say, yeah, and I feel like I need it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I need it to carry on, and I also want to deliver something to be for the people to be inspired by as well. Like like if like my music can make you feel a certain way, then like I feel like I've done my job. You know.
That's fucking mad. That's dope.
That's the
Oh, bless, bro.
Yeah, it's a way of like I've always seen it as a way of release. Like what you said, you get your weight off your shoulders and everything. Like even like people ask me, they're like, "Oh, do you write? Like, do you make music?" I don't make music. I vent though. I vent
Yeah,
writing down, like writing stuff
exactly.
down, and people go, "Oh, so you don't tell people?" I'm like, "No." I go, "Because if I tell people, I don't know. It feels like writing stuff down is a way of it's just there.
Yeah,
No one else knows about it. No one will
yeah,
ever know about it unless I show you what it is, or
mm,
unless somehow you go to my house and find it. Like I
yeah,
barely ever show people what I release or like what I
mm,
vent, and that's why
yeah,
like I don't make music, but that's the reason I love music so much. Like I've been listening to a lot of music lately, and it's all about like you said, it's being vulnerable.
yeah.
It's
Legit.
it's literally like when I listen to a lot of your music, Mercs, Johnny's, Bart, even Angels, Ego, it's like
Yeah,
it's her being vulnerable. It's her accepting you, like not accept, opening herself into her life,
yeah,
and like you got to understand it. Like a lot of people just go, "Oh yeah, this is a mad beat,"
yeah. Like
and
this
it's just
sounds dope. Like
like bruh, and it's like you don't understand like what this means to the artist. To the artist, this might be something that they were worried about ever dropping.
yeah,
And that's what I felt about when I heard her bar stills. Like I feel like that was emotion in her head, thought in her
yeah,
head, and it was just a way of it was like I've noticed every time she's on a big platform, it's something with meaning.
mm.
The Triple J bar stills, the Red Bull thing, there's always like a meaning behind her lyrics. Like
That
I
not many
feel
people would pick up either.
yeah, exactly. Like I remember watching the Triple J one, and the host, the person that was like in the booth, and they zoom on her face, and her face is looking at in awe.
Yeah,
Like she's looking like, damn, like this girl is younger than me, but she's inspiring me in a way that I haven't heard. You know what I mean? And I
mm,
feel like
mm.
that's what you mean by like it's a release. It's a way of like people understanding like, yo, like this is my life. Accept it or
100.
don't. Like if you don't like it,
Exactly, bro.
fuck off. Like what
Exactly. It's like
objectively.
here's this piece of me. Here it is. Do what you want with it.
yeah.
Like type thing.
Like I've always felt
Yeah.
that about Merc, especially when I heard a lot of the GYB music. Like
Yeah.
I remember hearing the first time I heard In My Head, and I was just like, it's like, can I tell this Merc what you were telling us yesterday the other day?
Go for it, bro.
How you were talking about like when you were in the stew recording it, and like Vasco and that shit came through,
Yeah, it was Korean Jesus, Vasco, all the homies, like just walking in the studio.
and they were like looking at you in awe, eh? Like
Yeah,
when
yeah, I
you were
remember.
singing the chorus.
Yeah, 'cause I remember like just being in the booth and because like there's this like glass window
Yeah,
and like oh some of the homies walking in and I'm just freestyling like I got demons talking in my head rolling with the day. And then yeah, like I just could see it, like how it could take you to that certain, you kind of resonate with it. So I just kind of saw that.
I just remember your ad-libs. Where we go. Where
Where
we
we
go.
go.
I don't even know. But I laugh when you do the I don't even know. It's like out of like a frustration. It's like I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just vibing with this thing. I remember the first time I saw you perform that at Johnny's birthday. And dude, what was that Latin guy that you used to hang out with? What was his name? The one with the glasses?
Who?
There was this Latin guy that used to hang out with you. This Latino guy that used to hang out with you.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Nah, not sure, bro.
And when you would say where we go, he'd be like, where? What the fuck? Where we go?
No way.
Yeah. And I just remember like hearing about like GYB and everyone talking to me like, bro, you need to see him live. You need to see him live. And like even Johnny's birthday, H.E. invited me to that. I didn't even get invited. H.E. invited me to it. H.E. No, because me and Johnny didn't know each other. We knew of each other, but we weren't talking. Like Johnny's been a fan of my, like the channel since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like since the very beginning of Kraayziie Entertainment, he was there. I don't know how. He just found the channel.
He's the guy that did one of the episodes too, like the cipher thing.
Yeah.
Tell me.
So like, what was cool was going to someone's birthday, and I was like, bro. When H.E. invited me, I was like, bro. What's crazy is we haven't met. Like, and he goes, yeah. So what? I'm like, dude. I go, he's gonna lose his shit. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude. I go, he's been wanting to meet me for 2 years. And when we finally crossed paths, he was losing his shit. He was like, yo! Like, that full screamer for his shit. He's like, yo! Like, it was like, it was so genuine. It was like, damn, like, it's so cool, like, how many people, like, during that year, how many people I met. Like, I met you. I met Johnny. I met Bart. H.E. Ago. I met Ago that year as well. And it was just like, the people that really resonate with me now, they're still there. You know what I mean? Like meeting Soupy as well. The first time I met Soupy and how genuine, like, bro, his smile can light up a fucking room.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, his energy is so genuine. And I feel like about everyone that, like, in that circle, in that group of people, like, Johnny's genuine, Bart's genuine. Like, it's all just a natural vibe. It's like what I said to you, Blackbird, earlier. Like, I don't know if... I reckon we would have got along, like, before. But I reckon the fact that you were hanging out with Merc was different to me. I was like, damn, like, Merc must really fuck with this dude.
Yeah.
Because some of the times I saw Merc, he was on his own.
Yeah.
Like... Merc's very similar like me. Like I just go on my own. I'm a fucker. Yeah. If you catch me, you catch me. If not, unlucky.
Not for real.
And... He's loving it. But yeah, bro, like I just remember that, like the in my head part. And when the first time I heard it, because I heard it at Johnny's birthday. That was the first time I've heard GYB perform. And like I took so much out of it. I remember everything about that night. I remember DeAndre performing. H.E.'s first performance was that night.
Damn.
Bro, yeah, I remember this.
What was so cool about every song H.E. performed, he would do an introduction on how the song was made and what it made him feel. It was so cool. He's like, yo, this got produced by my 16-year-old cousin. He just found this type of beat and he just fell in love with it and started to play with it and stuff like that. I was like, bro, like, you're so connected to your music.
Yeah.
Like,
Backstory.
he reminds me of ODB because I've been watching a lot of Wu-Tang stuff recently, and like every time ODB is like practicing singing and shit, and they're like, bro, you're wasting our studio time. And he's like, I ain't wasting studio time. I'm an instrument. He goes, I'm an orchestra. You have to wait for me to finish talking about wasting time. Bitch, do you know who I am? And I'm just like, bruh. And I feel like that's like Heichi. Like Heichi will out of nowhere just think of a beat and just start. His own voice. He uses his voice as an instrument.
Yeah. He's made a beat with just his voice too. Like,
yeah,
he
like
told me, he showed me actually.
yeah, it's so cool. It's something that I've never seen before, or especially in Australia. Like, not many people think that way, unless like you meet like the full like mad creative people.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. It's just very interesting to see. Like right now, I love the way Australia's going right now. But I love the underground. To me, the underground will always be like, I feel bad for the artists that never got to perform in the underground scene.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they got to perform in the underground scene now. Like, I think about most of the gigs I've seen you perform at, like the Pastor Mike's, the bodega thing. Is that Pastor Mike's? That's what that's called, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you got the Ill-Equipped thing, which was Tour, which was an underground thing. It was a free gig. The bodega thing, it's a free gig. It's something that, like, it's a vibe. Like, you meet so many underground artists by just going there. Most of them don't even perform. It's just they want to vibe out. Like, I met Domingo through this type of stuff. I've met probably most of the scene through underground gigs. Because yeah, dude, like the underground's where it's at, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the OK Flow, like, even though that was like it was a tribute for someone, it felt like it was still a gig. It had the energy of both of it. It had the energy of it was a gig, but as well it was friends getting together, remembering someone. Like, and there was no bad vibe. Like, nothing bad happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that you barely see. You barely see that. Like, normally something always happens. Like, fans, like people in the crowd fucking hit each other or some shit like that. But like in this, it was like a family thing.
Yeah.
Like, even like Sake's mum, like, just what she did that night. Like, even Merc's like, bro, just say hello to her. He goes, you'll be surprised, she'll talk to you. And like, I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. He's like, it won't matter. He goes, trust me, she'll fuck with your vibe.
Yeah.
I went to talk to her and I was just like, damn, like, it's so cool, like, how she is. Even like how she cooked for people and stuff like that. Like, she didn't have to do that.
No.
She didn't have to do that, but people appreciated it. Even the posters things, how she was giving away the posters.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have to do that, but I was like, it was all love. And I remember talking to Merc about it after. Like, we called each other, like, after that day, and we're just like, bro, that shit was a vibe. Like, because I remember at one point, Merc's like, I'm not sure, should I go? Like,
For real.
he
Merc wasn't gonna go, bro. Like, Merc wasn't gonna go up first, bro.
Bro, like, I asked Merc, I'm like, are you going? And he goes, I'm not sure. I'm like, I go, let me know. I go, if you go, I'll come through. Because you were the closest person I was with at that point. I was like, okay, I'm like, and as well, because obviously GYB was performing. And I'm like, is this happening? Like, I called you, I called Freddie, I called Chase. I was like, how is this happening? Like, I remember just losing my shit. And then when I saw like No Intent there and stuff like that, I was like, yo, like Z Pluto's here. It was just
Yeah.
like a mad vibe. It was like everyone that went to like our gig, and plus more people. So it was just a sick vibe. And then meeting people like Vasco, Korean G, Korean Jesus, and stuff like that. It was just a sick vibe. And I feel like that's one of the things about if you ever go to underground gigs, it doesn't feel like it's a gig.
Like a family thing, like I said, bro.
It
Like,
feels
you know
like
what
a
I'm
get
saying?
together.
Legit, bro. And that's what the world needs more, bro.
Yeah,
And that's
nah.
like what people miss about gigs, bro. And you know, it's like the bringing people together. And that's why I also use like the Kraayziie thing as a reference, because
Yeah.
that's basically what it is, but like in all platforms, you know, whether it's
Yeah.
online. But yeah, man,
It's
gigs, bro.
cool.
Honestly, it's what I live for.
It's so cool, bro.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Alright, I got another one for you. I know you do like different type of sounds, but
Yeah.
I'm curious about this sound to like use. What is the hip hop like to you? What is the hip hop culture, and why is it important to Australia?
It's hard to tell what the hip hop culture is right now because it's always constantly changing. It's
Yeah.
dynamic. But what it means to Australia is, man, it's like it's crazy even just looking back at like, you know, like who was popping at what time and like what was really happening in the hip hop scene in Australia. Like I didn't really listen to too much. I listened to like a bit of it, but bro, I remember just coming back like when I was 11 years old, right? And I came back from the Philippines and shit. I lived there for a bit, and bro,
Yeah.
yeah, first thing I hear as soon as I get off the plane, like as soon as I like get back to like Australia, like, and yeah, before this I never really listened to like Australian music, like,
Yeah.
and it was 360s, like Mama never told me,
Yeah.
told me hanging out with boys like you, bro, boys like you, bro. Like I was like, shit, like this is like Australian hip hop, like that to
Yeah.
me at the time was like, yo, this is it, but yeah, man, like the significance of hip hop to Australia is it's very like important and it's very huge. And I feel like we should definitely always remember like where it came from and where it started, and like stop looking at like what's popping right now and like letting that identify what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I fuck with
that's
that
my
answer.
opinion.
Yeah, hip hop, man. Shout out hip hop.
What about you,
Yeah.
Mac?
Hip hop, man.
I feel like, because I started to listen to like Burnt Dogs, Pac, Biggie, like high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of like my inspirations was coming from like, I'd say Tupac, because like he just spoke through his music and like as a human being, I was just like, damn, this is like making me feel something. Yeah, I feel like that's where
Yeah,
it started for me.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
definitely
what
that
it,
universal kind of like,
it's like he was speaking his truth,
inspiration.
hey.
Yeah,
I feel
Yeah,
he was
like
he's
that's
speaking the reality, bro.
yeah,
That's
like
what great artists get killed for, bro. If you look at Bob Marley, look at X, look at Tupac, man, they all got something like to bring to the table that can really change people. And
yeah, exactly. I
yeah,
agree with
man, they
that,
speak
bro.
the reality, bro, and that's the sad truth about what it is today, man.
Like I went back to listen to like Straight Outta Compton, right?
Oh yeah,
And
that.
I just learned like, yo, like this was their version of the news. Like no one was
right.
talking about what was going on in their lives.
Nah, man.
When you bring that shit up, imagine back in those days, bro. They would have brought that up and be like, "Fuck off, bro. You're lying. Stop talking
Yeah,
shit." Like you don't really experience that type of trauma.
yeah,
Like it's like they judge you. It's like, come on, man. Like look at you. Look what you like. Look at your bill. Look at that. There's no way you get treated like that. It's like, bro. Like doesn't matter. If it's like 6 against 1, what do you do? Like, and I felt like that was such an interesting thing where, like, the fuck the police, Straight Out Compton, just certain stuff that they were talking about. And it goes back to like everyone, like you said, Park. Like Park talks about that. X talks about that a lot in his music. I feel like a lot of people took X's music for granted when he was alive.
Yeah.
Because when he died, bruh, everyone started to listen to him. Everyone, I hate that feeling of like when it comes to death, people pay attention to you.
Exactly.
People give you their flowers, as they say.
Yeah.
And it's just such
it's happened to Van Gogh, bro.
It happens to everyone, bro. It's fucking
Van
sad.
Gogh, yeah, Nirvana.
Yeah. Even
DMX,
like, bro. Yeah, see the perfect example. Peep.
Yeah. Peep.
Yeah. Another one.
Smoke.
Another one was Speaker Knockers. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he was another one like that. Like, even the Kid Leroy's like sampled stuff from him. Because this guy was just an underground mad storyteller. And he got blown up by a song called Lonely. It's such a good the ha 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 ha, you mad? Oh no. That's him. He made that whole like thing, and I just remember that song. And I was checking through his music just before he passed away. And I was just like, yo, like this dude's music is deep. Like very deep. And it's just interesting that when it comes to someone dying, they get their real flowers. A perfect example was Kobe. When Kobe died, everyone's like, oh, like everyone became basketball fans all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was just like, damn, like, and like I talked to a lot of people. I've spoken to Merc about this because Merc always asks me. He's like, what do you reckon will happen when like if I pass, right? And I have a feeling like some people like you, maybe Johnny, and that will get hit hard. Would be like, fuck, like this was a person that pushed us when no one was really fucking refused the way, like in that way. Like LOC said it to me. I posted my reaction to No Intent and LOC yesterday, and LOC said something to me that this is what he commented, right? And I feel like
I've seen it.
Yeah, like it made me feel whole as a person, not just as a content creator. Because I'm sure everyone can agree when I say that the way you do for the community of local rap is really honorable, G. Thank you for the countless times you've given us personal insights on our music, and we can tell you really enjoy it all. We appreciate you, King.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, you know.
And I remember when I reacted to Merc. Merc was the next time he saw me, he was like, you! He pointed me out. He was like, you! And like ran up to me and just like hugged me. It wasn't even like a yo, what's good? It was like, nah, like I don't think you understand like what you do. And to be honest, at points I never understood it.
Yeah.
I never understood like why does this mean so much to people? Until you like, if someone tells me it, like even hearing what you were saying in the intro, I was like, damn, there's times I forget. Like, I'm just a fan. And I feel like that's where I stopped. I used to, at one point, I tried to charge people and I didn't like it. Because.
It didn't feel right.
Yeah, it didn't feel right, but not only that. How do I know if I give someone a bad review, he won't want a refund? You know what I mean? Because then it becomes business.
Yeah.
It's not about the real meaning of music.
It's not a community anymore. It becomes like, yeah.
It becomes whoever pays me the most gets a reaction.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people that do it. Fair play to them. Yo, go make your bread. Like,
yeah.
But for me, I always got caught up in that emotion where like I would react to someone that paid me, and I'd be like, do I tell him the truth? Like, do I say, like, one guy paid me, bro, it was horrible. The worst song I've ever heard in my life. Like, and I told him that. I was just like, yo, I'm like, this is a horrible song. Like, I did not like it at all. And he's like, oh, well, why don't you like it? And I explained, like, what it was. I'm like, dude, because what he did was he just mimicked someone's whole sound. Right? And to me, I didn't get how you can be a creative. Because that's what an artist is. You're a creative. Like, we're similar in a way. I'm a creative, I do creative content, and you do creative content. It's just in different ways. Right? And like, why we probably get along the most is because what people tell me about us three is it's our feeling towards stuff is genuine.
Yeah.
Like,
Natural.
it's natural. It doesn't feel forced. It
Mm.
doesn't feel like I don't know, if like one of yous like someone that I don't like, I'm not gonna be like, yo, nah, fuck that cunt, blackball him. Like,
Yeah.
don't make music with him. You know what I mean? And I feel like in the industry, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Through
100%.
bad experiences, people don't like each other. And you know what I'm talking about, Merc, because you've told me something very similar to this. We won't mention it,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's only up to you if you want to mention it. But hearing that shit, like when you told me about that, I was just like, damn, like, but yeah, when they see you, yo, what's good, bro? How you been?
Yeah.
Long time no see. But behind,
Yeah.
it's like they have an image that they have to protect in person.
Yeah.
But when it's behind the scenes, like you said to me, oh fuck, I can't even say it. No, like they're devils. It's something sinister. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Like, I've spoken to yous about that, and even yous will say, you're like, yeah, like there's something odd about them, like that doesn't feel right.
The energy.
Yeah, bro. Like, we hang around people, and we tell them, we're like, oh, like, yo, like, if we don't like you, we don't like you. It's just real. It's just like, yo, like, you're cool. Like, I say that to a lot of people. I'm like, I like your music, but you as a person, nah, I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
But I'll still listen to their music though, because I like their music. I don't have to always have a friendship with artists. But the people that I do have friendships with, it's, you know, it's a vibe.
Always.
It's a fucking vibe. Alright,
For real.
next question. What did you learn from like 2019, 2020, 2020 because of like this whole lockdown stuff? Like as an artist and as well like as a person, what did you learn?
As a person, when you get sober, you realize who your true friends are.
Oof.
Um,
Oh! Sorry, just what a bar! What a bar! Yeah, keep on
as
going.
an artist, man, like, it's, yeah. Well, yeah, I would say what I learned the most is, yeah, try your best to avoid being a clone as possible as you can, because there's so many people here that, will, trying to force their way through like your circle just to like make something to look cool, not even for like something to deliver, like with a purpose in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, and yeah, I would say like never sell yourself short in regards of like how talented you are, because I realize that like we are our own biggest critics, like whether it's like in life
Mm-hmm.
and musically, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's why I learned, and maintain relation. Well, you don't have to maintain relation. It depends how busy you are, but
Yeah.
that's what I was doing like 2019, but I was just networking like
Mm.
through lockdown and shit. And yeah, it worked out. Like I have a bunch of like artists that I'm friends with overseas people I know mainly. Yeah, but
Fucking hell. I love
yeah,
that.
that's cool.
I love that for you.
Man.
What about you, Mac?
Shit. What did I learn? Like,
You went through a
there's a
lot,
lot.
eh?
I feel like, if anything, like, if it, like, I had like a realization of just what I value in like simple things in a sense of like friends, family, life, nature, the ability to make music, and it's just,
Mm.
man, it's a lot. Like when I think about it, it's like I'm just constantly changing and evolving. And like I feel like the best thing to invest in is yourself.
Yeah,
So I try to absorb knowledge musically, spiritually, and like just balance every aspect of the dimensional plane.
Mm.
Like
mhm.
I don't even know. Like I'm
No,
trying to
keep on
sound like
going.
a
Keep on going. Keep on going.
crazy
You're
motherfucker.
no, 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 no,
But
no.
like you know what I mean?
You're saying
Like
some
I feel
truth,
like
bro.
like all aspects in life. You gotta be physically well, mentally, spiritually, like and if one's off, you know, you could feel like the balance like
Mm.
off. So I try to alternate and maneuver to where like I see what's working for me and what's bringing like good in my life instead of like bad, you know, because I try to
Negative.
manifest positive and
Yeah,
optimistic things in my life. So
Mm.
like I feel like it's all love. Like everyone's trying, and we're obviously put here for like a reason. So I take like I've said this a lot of times. I take a lot of things just as like a lesson or a teacher. So you kind of learn something, and at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all we're all on this earth for something. And
Mm.
I like guess I create that reason and fucking keep evolving. Like there's as a human, it's like we have the ability and conscious to keep going beyond and keep inventing and keep creating and have like those aspects, and it's a blessing to be able to do that and share it with everyone else and friends, family, like, and help people out, bro, because that's what the world needs. It's just like we
yeah,
need each other to get
Mm.
through shit. So like I can't do this shit by myself. Like fuck, I needed help at one point, and even till now, it's like I got a roof over my head, and like I'm grateful for like a lot of things in life. So yeah.
Yeah. I fuck with. That's it, bro. I like your answer. Both of yours. For me, what was the question? What we learned from 2020. That's right. Um, for me, what I learned from 2020, I have one which I've already answered, so I can't be bothered in that one again. But this was what was that? That was having a backup plan, right? So you know how like I wanted to do the behind the scenes series. Remember, I was talking about that the whole of 2019. I was like, this is my plan. I'm gonna do this, right? And I couldn't do it because of fucking lockdown. So I started the podcast. I was like, you know what? Everyone's home. Like, I can do it. I can do it that way, right? And then after, what another thing that I learned was decision making. Like, it's your it's your decision to have someone or something in your life, right? It's your decision to stop chasing. I feel like a lot of people chase more than lead. Like a lot of people chase things and they only look at the destination. They never look at the journey. Like look back into yourself, and I said this to Merc one day and Merc was tripping out. We're on a call at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, have you ever looked back in your life and seen where you are now, how you got there? because that's a thing. Like a lot of people say to you, like, "Oh, you changed." Bro,
Yeah.
that's the point of life.
Yeah, evolving.
Evolving's the most important thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
I learned a lot when I went to South America. I stayed in South America for a year. And my family in South America, they only have farms. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, they don't live that city life.
No.
So what I learned was like that motivation, that stuff like, yo, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock to do work there. Because during the day it's so hot that you get fucking smashed if you work during the day. And like I started to learn like how to stay consistent. And another thing that I really learned was being accountable for my words. Right? Like if Blackbird messaged me yesterday and like for this, let's say we're talking about this, right? And Blackbird's like, oh, like today, if Blackbird's like, yo, are you ready? Let's do this thing. And I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm feeling sick. But I'm perfectly fine. It's like making a lie out of something, right? And for me, like, it started earlier, like back in my early years where like as a teen, I would lie a lot. And like now I've started to make these decisions of stop lying. Right? Like, it's so funny. My mate said this to me, and I know both of you are gonna trip out, right? When you lie, you smile, right? You have like, do you get what I mean? You have like a sinister smile, right? All right. Think about the Joker. Think about the Joker, right? A snake.
Yeah.
And what's that guy's name? The snake from Naruto?
Orochimaru.
Okay. Have you ever played their voices together and how similar they sound?
Pretty similar.
Nah.
And their face is a snake. Is like a snake. Is that a smile of a snake?
Yeah. It's like...
Look at Nick. I knew if I said this, Rick was gonna trip out. And do you know why everything evil stands as a snake?
Why?
Because they say a snake. Do you know why snakes have no legs? It's like, for example, right? A lie has no truth to stand on. And it's just like a snake. A snake, and when you think about what snakes are scared of, it's mostly like, for example, a perfect example was what my mate said to me was Mufasa. Like the way Mufasa was as a character was light, was like the sun. It was like you know what's interesting? Lions do what men like. This is like a men thing though. When you why is there a word called man up?
No, right.
Right? Like when you're lying and shit, people will say to you, man up, stop talking shit. Right? And when like a lion is like Mufasa, he was always like that. Chest out. And what does that mean? Your chest is out because you're open.
Yeah.
Like when Simba asks him, like, what is this? He just tells him. He's like, that place, you don't go there. Like, it's just dark. It's evil. And that's what I learned that, like, I was talking to someone yesterday, and this is what I just learned from stuff like that. And, like, he's like, bro, think about it. Like, sinister, you say everything, most of the words with S, you go like a snake. And the S is a snake. And then, and then you connect it to, like, Harry Potter shit, right? Slytherin. It's a snake. It's like everything evil portrays as a snake.
Yeah,
but,
even religion, man.
Like even religion. for example, he was telling me about this story about Moses, right? I think it was Moses, and how Moses brought out a white snake, a cobra,
Yeah.
a white cobra, right? And I said to him, I go, do you understand why he brought out a white cobra? And he goes, go on, tell me, what do you reckon? I go, one, it represents light. Like, white represents, like, whenever you fucking walk outside and you see a bright light, you're just like, whoa, like, it's like the realization of, like, hello, you're awake.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
here, bitch.
Yeah. It's like, I'm here, like, wake the fuck up. And what I was saying to him, I'm like, what's funny about that? Isn't, I swear, cobras, don't you have to look them in the eye? Like, you can't keep eye contact. Like, you have to make sure to, like, always, like, you have to be careful of your subtle moves and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's just interesting. I was having that conversation, and I feel like that's something that brought into, like, my mind of, like, 2020. Of, like, okay, stop saying shit for no reason, without backup, without facts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I bet half of the listeners, when they hear that Orochimaru thing, look at Merc's face when I said it. Merc was like, I never even thought about it that way, but it makes sense. One of my mates, I don't know if you know him, Joey Nass. I think that's his name.
Nah.
He's an artist, right? And he has a song about evil and good. I don't think I should be saying this, but in the good side, he has Mufasa talking. And the one thing about Mufasa that always stood out to me was the power of his voice. It was just
like God.
It was so confident. It was just like,
Yeah.
and when you listen to, like, the Joker, Orochimaru, their voices are so similar. Like, he did Mark Hamill and Orochimaru, right? And, like, he put them together. Like, you literally blend them together, and it sounds like it's the same person, which is weird. It tripped me the fuck out. But yeah, like, I was just like, I pay attention to little stuff like that, and, like, it's just cool to have moments like that with, like, homies and shit. What are you doing, man? But what I learned from 2020 was, like, just starting, like I say here on my board, always stay true to your word. And, like, when I started watching, like, Wu-Tang dropped a documentary in 2019. Like, it wasn't a documentary, but it's like a doco series.
Yeah. It's on Stan.
Yeah. And they always say
that
they always say that their word is bond. Right? Meaning, why is that? Because your word should mean everything. Like, if I was... What are you going to say, Mike?
Like, the tongue, like, I feel like if you're saying shit, yeah, it's what's on your mind. So, like, sometimes you won't be, like, you'll be oblivious on what you're saying, but you're actually saying what's on your mind. And you'll eventually, if you don't realize, you can manifest something very bad.
Facts.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, I feel like a lot of people just, like, for example, right, thoughts come into your head. Like, for example, I asked you, name 3 things, right? You would have 3 things in your head by the time I get to you, right? And what that does is it blocks your subconscious of the rest of the thoughts that you had in your head. Like, what I've noticed about a lot of people, when they ask those type of questions, they start to stutter. It's like, because they have someone in their neck, like something or someone in their head, and they don't want to say it. Right? It's decision making. Like, for example, when you lie, you have it's like there's a feeling in your body and in your mind that's telling you stop. And if you've noticed, people stutter when that happens. They will talk. They'll be like, yeah, bro, fuck this bitch. And it's like a thought in your head going, nah, never mind. I'll tell you the story later. Meaning, nah, I'm not going to tell you the story later. Meaning, you were going to say something that you did not have control of. It just came through your mind and just went, bleh! It just came out. And it's
Teleported.
yeah, it's just an interesting. And that's the whole thing about like what Merc was saying about your mental. He says it all the time, bro. If you're not good mentally, spiritually, if you're not connected, it's bad. It looks very bad on you. It's a fucking sad thing, honestly. It's really sad. Alright, next question. This one would help with yous because yous are actually in this whole industry thing. Why do you think people... not why. What do you think people struggle with the most in the industry? In the music scene?
Being themselves.
Yeah, being yourself.
Yeah, because in the industry, you're
Like, I reckon it's
there's
okay.
people in mind, bro. That
I
I
reckon
can use
it's
as an example.
I reckon it's okay to not be yourself if you're playing a character. Do you get what I mean by that? Like
But for
Yeah.
how long?
I talk to Merc about that all the time.
But do you get no? Like what I mean, like how like the whole Wu-Tang thing started, right? It was they would tell their truths, but they would say it as they're portraying a character. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it would be kind of like fictional mixed with truth.
Yeah. Like exaggerated. It's like truth, but exaggerated.
Yeah, but like a bit. But it's like, but
Yeah,
like you
I
said, for how long? But when you interview them, you're interviewing the person, like the
Yeah.
real person. They're not playing a character.
They're
You know
not
what I mean by
playing a
that?
character.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep on going. What were you gonna say? Blackbird?
Obviously because like in the industry, like for example, if you have like, you know, you with this label, contract manager, blah blah, like they're gonna want you to act a certain way, like to your character accordingly. It's like I could use so many people as an example. I'll use Lil Peep as an example. You
Yeah.
know, like his management, like obviously he was always like there was so much like stigma behind it, like oh he's a druggie, he's a junkie rapper, etc. etc. And like when he got signed or something like that. Yeah, if you watch the documentary, it's pretty fucked, man. But yeah, the management was sending him drugs, like sending him a bottle of Xanax, like trying to maintain this, like, and you know,
This
portraying
image.
this image of like this really sad artist, and he's like under the influence of like hard drugs or like pill popping and stuff like that. And it's like, shit, man. Yeah, like Merc said, for how long? Like, you know, it's like that's a really good example. Like all these artists like dying young, like or just yeah, and it goes the same with like when people promote violence in their music, you know, like and somebody ends up getting shot dead. Like it's so my opinion on that is like yeah, a lot of people struggle to be themselves, and that's another thing, bro. When artists in the industry want to be themselves, it's hard for them, like you know, because they aren't given the opportunity on the platform of it.
I know where you're heading with that part straight away. We have a friend that had that problem, and it's just like, bro, like, oh, I don't think my fans would like it. What? You don't think your fans would like you being yourself? How does that work? You think fans prefer this fake persona over you being yourself?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it works.
It is crazy, man. And like to have that process of thinking that to have that ideas that all these fans like might not like who I truly am. That shows for how long you've been controlled for. That makes sense. Like
and it's
to the point where you start questioning
getting
yourself.
in your ear.
Getting in your ear, exactly.
It's that snake that we're talking about.
It's the snake, man.
It's that
snake.
It's that thing.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. What about you, Mac?
Go watch out for the snake, man.
Wait.
hand.
Do you want
The
the
evil
question
hand
again?
with the right
Black?
hand.
You remember the
Again. Wait,
question?
what was it?
Um,
Wait, what was it?
what do you think people struggle with the most in the music scene?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, man, because I feel like, in a sense, it can become this competition of like who's cooler or who has more of followers or something. I don't know. Or
Yeah, like
clout. Or
numbers.
who's talking. Yeah, numbers. And like, I just feel like what's important is you as a human being and being like making use of your life
Mm.
and just like self-awareness. Be self-aware. Don't follow someone because like yeah, be your own leader, like take
And be a
control of
clone.
your life. This is your life. Like don't be in someone else's shadow because like don't handicap yourself. You have like that's like herd mentality or just like conformity. Like people end up just like
Walking over you.
yeah, like it's easy to just be in the crowd, you know,
Mm.
and just follow. But I try to be a leader. I try to understand life for like what I know it
Mm.
as. Yeah.
Ooh, what do I think people struggle with? There's a lot. Bro, I always have a different answer for this, so now I'm thinking of
Mm,
something that
different.
yeah. Like I remember the last one I did was catalog. Like I feel like a lot of people don't have catalog in the scene. And it's funny because
Mm,
they always tell you, "Oh, I'm in the booth every day recording la 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 la." Is it ever gonna drop? Drop? What do you mean? Like I don't drop music. Like, huh? That's your whole job. That's your like
The whole
unless you're
purpose.
unless you're in a label. Like if you have like that, because that makes sense because it's not really in your control.
Mm,
It's like what Frank did to the industry. It's one of the smartest things anyone's ever done,
yeah.
ever.
yeah,
Um,
honestly.
bro, that's fucked up. Wait, I can't get over he used them like that, bro. So funny.
My,
Yeah.
Used them for
Then
20 mil to get to, because he already knew I had 20 mil in the bag. Like, bro, that's genius.
but legit.
But what do I think people struggle with? So what did you say? Self confidence and fucking being themselves, eh?
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, just being themselves. I think Merc said, yeah, the herd mentality thing.
It was like
Just like,
later mentality type of stuff.
yeah.
For me, um, I feel like going the same place as you. Actually, just that
Mm,
whole confidence of. I wouldn't say it's okay. Actually, I got the word. Be aware of who's around you. Like being
awareness.
aware of like yeah awareness. Like being aware of um the circle that you're around. Like Merc has a good example for this about what he was talking to Jit the other day. Like you understood straight away, Merc, and you had to get away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's self awareness. You didn't have to have people come and tell you what happened.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't need to prove anything to anyone. Like
yeah.
this like I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
And it's like it's self awareness of understanding what type of people are around you. Like Blackbird said, what he learned in 2020, 2019. Music wise, not music, personal wise, not everyone's your friend. Not everyone's going to check up on you. I have this conversation with someone recently. I was just like, they're like, someone asked me like, "Oh, do you ever talk to yourself?" And I'm like, I talk to myself more than I talk to people.
Yeah, legit.
Because in my opinion, I feel like, you know those thoughts in your head? Have you ever watched Inside Out? You know how they say like there's like people, it's like a thing. It's like your emotions are like people. They're their own person, right? It's
Yeah.
like that. It's like they're their own person. You got a sadness, you got a happy, la 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 la. Like you got all that
Yep.
type of stuff, right? And
Mhm.
like when I look for advice, I talk to myself. Because I can think of my past because I know my past.
Exactly.
And
You know
I can
yourself best.
yeah, and I can think of where I want to go. Like, okay, I want to make Kraayziie a movement. I want it to be an empire. Yes, I might need some cold motherfuckers that, let's be honest, that's businessmen. The businessmen don't have feelings. They're cold. They're heartless, bro. They'll cut you off like that. Like, someone asked me, what's the difference between me as Espy and me, like as myself? You know my real name. And it's like, what's the difference between that? And there is a huge difference. Except for one thing where it's telling the truth. As Espy, I do it, and as me, as the person I am, as my mother's given, like the given name she gave me,
Yeah.
I still keep that. I still keep some of my logics that I use in my personal life in my business.
You always keep it real.
Like my grandma taught me the last words that my grandma ever said to me. And bro, I want to ask you this, Merc, because I feel like you're very similar in this way. How many people ever tried to take the kid out of you? Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, why is it, if you've noticed with a lot, I don't know if you've noticed this with a lot of adults, right? That kid mentality of like having fun, being happy, they don't really have it. Like, they have it, but it's like rare to see. If you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that, Blackbird? Like, as a
Say that
person,
again?
like when you were growing up, right?
Yeah.
How many people you knew tried to take the kid out of you?
Oh yeah, a few. And they get different version of me. And like
It's like, I feel like in life, when you try to grow up, everyone's trying, like with me, right? I always hear this, oh, he's not genuine. He doesn't really
Yeah.
like the music that he likes. Oh, why does he react like that? Why is he so giggly? And like, it's like, bro, like that's the kid inside me remembering shit. Like, like, for example, I bet you remember the first time you heard My Chemical Romance and shit.
Yeah.
But you were kids. You weren't teens, were you?
Yeah.
Like, Merc,
100.
who were you listening to when you were a kid? Like, if you remember, like in your early ages.
Fuck. Damn. Like Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi for
like-
sure.
Damn, what a fuck.
Yeah.
What an
Like
and
My early stage was Dean Martin, bro. Dean Martin, like when I was a kid. Like a lot of like that age music. So that definitely hits home for me, especially like
and
I remember from age 5, 6 years old.
how do you feel about
crazy.
listening to that music now? You understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And like you actually
Yeah.
realize, like, with me, I listen to a lot of Michael Jackson and stuff. So like by the age of being a teen, I understood what they didn't care about us meant. Like how he says, if Martin Luther was living, he wouldn't let this be. Let's be honest, if Martin Luther was still living, they'll try to kill him again. Like,
Yeah.
let's
For sure.
It's because what he showed people was, you can have power without being powerful. Do you get what I mean by that? Like, he's just a person. He wasn't like a king, a queen. Like, he wasn't out of royalty or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was just a normal man speaking his truth. Once again, going back to that truth shit. Oh, fuck, I just kicked the table. But it's like, and when I listen to, like, me, if you ask me who I was listening to, you would understand why I listen to the music I listen to now. Bro, when I was 5, I was listening to 50 Cent and Linkin Park. And if you listen to Linkin Park's music now, especially the first album, Hybrid Theory, how crazy is it when you listen, like, you understand their lyrics now, like what they were talking about.
Yeah.
In the End is the perfect example of life.
In the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard, but yet so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
And why does that song always stand out? It's because the meaning of that song. You can try to do anything in life. But I feel like this is my, perception of this song, right?
Yeah.
Perfect example is what happened to Michael Jackson. You can try so hard to be a good person, be caring, loving, but in the end, they will always try to destroy your image.
Yeah.
Think about the people that's happened to. It's happened to so many. Like, oh, well, Michael Jackson's a perfect example. Like, the whole kid thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, like, it's like, oh, he's nice to children. As they say, like, I don't really feel like, what's the word? I don't know how to talk about it, but it's like, when I look at it, someone's like, bro, I can't believe he does this, la la la. I'm like, cuz, he's been performing since he was 5.
Didn't even have like the opportunity to like be
He
a
never
kid.
lived a life as a kid.
Yeah.
Look at Miley, look at Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, all of them. They went from like kids to being reckless.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to live a life like that. Because they never lived a normal life. Like, a lot of people, you know how people bring up this whole Drake discussion with Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, Drake's like this era of Michael Jackson. I'm sorry, did Drake perform at the age of 5? Did Drake have girls fainting over him by him just standing there and not moving? Imagine, like, if you were a kid when Michael Jackson was a kid. He didn't go to school. Like, he couldn't go to a normal school.
Nah.
Bro, he had older brothers, and think about how old they were compared to him. They were like teens.
Yeah.
So he's growing up around his brothers, like, probably with groupies and shit like that. His dad with groupies as well. And how ironic, he makes a song called Dirty Diana. And the meaning behind Dirty Diana, what that means about a life of a groupie wanting to get with someone and forget about the whole world. You know what I mean? And whenever I hear that song, I just smile. It brings a smile to my face. Because if you've ever lived a life like that, like, even you just don't go all over the world, but even you learn that at a young age. Like you learn in a performing life, that's what happens in life. So imagine him as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. Learning that. He's witnessing that as a kid. No kid should witness that at that age. And it just makes me so interesting when you listen to his music. A lot of it relates to when he was younger. Like, bro, who the fuck makes a song about a rat? Fucking Ben, bro. Ben is about a fucking rat, the song. Like, to me, it just showed, like, the creativity of an artist. Like, people go, oh, I don't know what to write about. What do you mean, bro? Write what you feel. Like, I asked this to Merc one day. I was like, when you're in the stew, how do you feel? And what I like about Merc is, like, when we're on, like, not even when we're on lives, when we're on Insta, like, just like group chats or anything, he's just playing the piano. He's just vibing. It's a vibe. Like, Merc, do you ever, like, while you do this, do you ever feel like this is a job?
Nah, it's...
And same as you, do you ever feel like it's a job? Blackbird?
No. More
And
lifestyle for
if
me.
you ask me the same question, I would say the same thing, even though I get paid for what I do.
Mm.
When you have the mentality that it's your job, you lose your creativity.
Passion. You lose your passion for it.
Yeah.
And creativity, exactly.
Like, remember, Merc, we were listening to that Andre 3000 interview, and someone asked him, why does he not make music? And he goes, I don't want to write anything. I can't write anything right now. How real is that? That happens to artists. But he's just had writer's block for like fucking a decade or even longer. And it makes you wonder, like, the lifestyle that we were talking about this. I don't know if I was talking to you about this. I'm worried when he dies, a lot of his music's going to come out that he never dropped.
Mm.
Because let's be honest, he must have recorded something in this meantime.
Yeah.
And like, you see a lot of like,
for fun or whatever.
You see like Peep, Pop Smoke, Michael Jackson, all of them, all their music gets put out when they pass, and it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
I really hope that doesn't happen to like a Frank. Like, if he didn't feel comfortable on putting it out, you shouldn't be able to put it out as their name
on his behalf.
Yeah. It's just weird. It feels wrong. Like, there's times where I hear like Juice WRLD on a track, and I'm just like, did you have to put him on this track? Did you have to drop his music? Like, unless he told him, like, oh yeah, like, before he passed, like, drop this music.
Yeah.
It just feels weird. There's times where, like, they drop stuff that's not mixed, mastered right.
Exactly. Or it's their vision, you know. Like, they completely changed, like, the vision of the track that artist who passed, like, died, and, like, most likely, like, wrote it to a specific, like, meaning and shit, and, like, people just kind of, like, mash it up with, like, some, like, I don't know, man, like, R&B, like, I don't know. You see it in a lot of
I know who you're going at as well. Shout out to Chris Brown.
Yeah.
He does that a lot. And it's just like, yo, like, come on, man. Just let art be art, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Alright, well, where are we going with this? Okay. I have two. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, I have two more questions. Yeah, two more. One is, what's one thing that people in the scene focus too much on?
And what's popping, I reckon. People in the scene see something that's popping, and they'll
Just
start
jump
changing.
on it. They leech on it.
Yeah, Legit, man. Legit. And he's
They're
like, they
literally
start
leeches.
legit, bro. They start like end up like changing their content or like what they write about, something that's like not really them. And yeah, realistically they leech on what's popping. For me personally, I always avoid to do something that's popping. You know, even if I do it like naturally, subconsciously,
Mm.
and like not even realizing it's popping. Like once I realize like, oh, that style or like that type of beat pattern or whatever is like popping, I'll be like, nah, I can't. You know,
Mm.
because like yeah, like, even like what Merc was saying, it's like a herd mentality thing, and I feel like you can't really be yourself or stand or like
Yeah.
stand out if you're just trying to like put in a ski mask and like rap in front of a kebab shop.
Rapping every parking lot in Sydney, and everyone knows what specific parking lot it's at.
Legit, man.
What about you,
And
Mac?
um, shit. Wait, what was the question again?
What do you think? One thing. What do you think? Wait, shit. What's one thing that people focus too much on in the scene?
In the scene, um, I reckon it's dang. Yeah, like the whole. I mean, from a business point, it's like you're this product, and you just kind of have to sell yourself to the people. So like yeah, you can be a shitty human being and sell your music and be famous and shit, but like you meet someone in real life and they're just a shitty human being, but like if you're someone that's real and really about it, really in the matrix and wanting to actually make a difference, then that's what I feel like is more better than just becoming this, kind of product in a sense. Like
Mm.
try to be more down to earth and humanized. Yeah.
Alright, so you answered my other question. Because it's a two-part question. Alright, Blackbird. What's one thing they don't focus on enough? See, Merc answered both of them in one.
Fuck.
No, that's
what I
fine.
reckon, what I reckon as an artist, you don't focus on like enough, whatever. Wait, what was the
Like,
question again?
it's like, you know how I said, what's one thing they focus too much in the scene?
Yeah,
What's one thing they don't focus on enough in the scene?
it would be like their own fans, like their own audience, like the people who actually fuck with them for who they are and what they're doing at the moment.
Talking shit, sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I just got a chill down my spine.
Like, but for real, man, like you could have like there's 10 people who really fuck with you and like your sound and what you do. You know, like if you just invest on those 10 people, like bro, you can really make a difference. Like those people will like start promoting your things and will like be on someone else's story, blah blah blah, and like bro, it's like it's a full
It's a
rolling ball
cycle.
if you exactly, and if you just focus on that cycle, like bro, you shouldn't. If you focus on that cycle, you wouldn't have to portray something else and like try to please other audiences that like have the same like inspiration on these other artists type shit. Like it's
Mm.
like if I see this other artist and he's got this fan base, like I'm not gonna try and leech on his fan base and try to do what he's doing. Like what I'm saying? That's what I feel like people are doing wrong. Like as well as not paying attention to like their own like fan base, like that 5%.
Mm. I get you. What do I think is one thing people focus on? Numbers? All about numbers nowadays. Oh, dude, you can't talk shit because I have more followers than you. What does
Legit,
that
I hate
mean?
that. I hate that, bro. I've been there, bro. Like honestly, I've legit been there too,
What
bro. I
the
remember when I first started
fuck
making
does
music,
that?
bro.
mean,
When I first started making music, bro, and I hit up this artist for like collab, like it's like someone local, and it's like someone in Penrith or whatever, and yeah, I didn't have, bro, I had like 97 followers. This is the beginning of last year, and he's kind of like, I showed him my music, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's all right. 3-4 months later, bro, I built like this fan base, like my own little like thing, bro. Man, I'm like, my followers are like growing up. I've dropped like my 20th, like my 21st track.
mm.
And then he hits me back, bro. He's like, yo, this song's actually lit, bro. This song's lit, bro. I fuck with this song hard.
You know what I would have
But
said
like
to him?
months before that, he
You
was like, oh, this shit's alright.
know what I would have said to him?
What?
Yeah, thanks to your advice. Because what it does, it makes them feel like it's not a reason, but it makes them go shit. What it is, it's a reality check to their ego
Yeah,
when you say something like that.
yeah,
Like when I get this a lot, bro, because obviously I do reactions and stuff like that. Bro,
Yeah.
I've got offered grand, not just money. Like I'm not just getting offered like $100. I'm getting offered
yeah,
like big money to do reactions, and I still say no. Because what they think is that they can buy their way into me. And see, I'm a person, yous notice, do you know why I, like when I go to gigs and stuff, I go like in a corner or anything like that? Like
yeah.
why I'm like
Hoodie
that?
on.
The reason I'm like that is I'm very protective of my energy. Because let's be honest, when you're around a lot of people, if it's people you like, your energy stays, right? But when it's people that are like leeches, they drain your energy. They drain the good out of you.
Yeah.
And they the perfect word is they inject a poison. And when you think about poison, poison's dark. It's always dark. It's always something that, like, I feel like a lot of people that work understand this. What I'm talking about is that, for example, like coffee is a perfect example. It becomes like a drug that you rely on to take every day. And then what you notice is you start getting more tired when you drink it.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you're used to it now. So it doesn't have that energy, that kick up that it used to have. Because like I've never drank coffee ever in my life, but I know that it has a kick up.
Yeah.
It has something in it. It's obviously I know what it is. It's the caffeine.
Yeah.
And what I feel like when it comes to that type of stuff, like what I was saying was, when I'm around people that are leeches, when I'm around people that don't really care, what they do is they try to hear something, they'll use it, and then they go, oh, it's your fault that I'm not blowing up. It's they blame.
Yeah.
The only person you can blame is yourself. Me, for example, when I'm around news, when I'm around Johnny, you see it, I'm quiet.
Yeah.
When I'm around people that are just as wise as me, in my opinion, I'm quiet. I let you talk. Listen, look how well this podcast has worked between us three. We let each other finish. We let each other talk. Imagine if this was with, instead of me, I don't know, someone else, right? Like, for example, Mercaset's worst interview of all time. Right? Be honest, Merc. Would he let you talk? You go, like, you just have met him. Does he let you speak? You can't talk your truth. Like, that's why I let Mert, I know Merc's going somewhere, and like Merc, I remember at one point in the interview, the podcast, Merc started to doubt himself, and I'm like, no, keep on going. You don't sound crazy at all. Keep on speaking, because what you're saying is your truth, but what it is your thought of like the lie, like a lie, is coming into it and trying to interrupt it, and going, no,
Yeah.
Merc, you sound crazy. You don't sound normal. But you do, like, not normal, but you don't sound like you're, what's the word, as people say, woke.
Yeah. Thoughts
Like,
clash.
like you're speaking your truth, how you really feel about stuff. And I feel like that's one thing that people focus on too much, is their image, the numbers, all that shit, bro. That shit doesn't matter at all.
Exactly.
Go tell that to T-Pain. Like, go tell that to people. What I learned was fame and money isn't everything in life.
No.
Because if you've ever met any of those people, they're the most miserable people you would ever meet in your life. Why is there that famous saying, don't meet the people that you look up to? Because like Merc says, they sold their soul to get to where they are. And how hard is it to get that back? It's hard. It's not an easy thing
I'll
to
give
do.
it back.
You kind of can, but not as it once was. Not
Not like
as
that.
pure as it was, yeah. Like, and one thing that they don't focus on enough is I'm about to piss a lot of people. Commitment. Commitment. Sorry, commitment and sacrifice. How many... Alright, I'm going to ask both of you this. How many friends do you feel like you have lost because you make music?
Probably in the 50s. Probably in the 50s, bro.
Huh?
Raz.
A lot, eh?
Yeah, it's
What?
like, yeah.
Do you want to know why that's a thing? I have this quote
Why?
for you, and it's literally the quote of life, bro. Like when it comes to like music, what I do, because I feel like all of us live a kind of similar life between us three, right? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It used to like this. This is the quote, and I know because both of you have liked this, so you already know where I'm going with this. It used to bother me when friends / family didn't support me until I came across this quote, right? You know why strangers support you more than people you know? Because people you know have a hard time accepting that you guys came from the same place, yet they're in the same place.
Legit, bro.
And as
The
a
reason I
person,
fuck with...
yeah, go
Sorry, go on.
go on.
The reason I fuck with that quote, because it's very similar to like the quote that I always like have a lot of familiar, like I'm very familiar with. And it goes like, everybody wants you to do good until you're doing better than them.
I finished that shit off for you. I knew where you were going. And I bet Merc was like, I know where he's going as well. Like,
Magnus.
But it's real. It's that real stuff. Like, bro, I got this other one. And I know you love this one because whenever I quote it, Blackbird always messages me and goes, talk your shit. And to be honest, it's my favorite quote I've ever found. Like, I found it, and I feel like for me, it explains me as a person the best way I can explain myself as a person when it comes to this scene, when it comes to my friends, fuck is it? Here it is. I want you to win. You already know where I'm going with this.
Mm.
I know what's up with me and my relationship with the universe. So you winning places is no blockade on my success. Right? A lot of people don't want other people to win because they're insecure with their position and
Yeah.
feel like you're encouraging you're encouraging no encroaching on their spot, like you're taking their spot away from them.
Yeah.
What they need to understand is there's unlimited spots in the world, there's unlimited spots in the industry,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But
There's a
let me
million
get
doors,
let me
bro.
but
It's just about opening.
but there is a thing of number one, there is that type of stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There is that type of
Yeah.
stuff. But my thing is when you see people kill each other for this,
Yeah.
like, oh, you're taking my spot. Boom.
Yeah. Legit.
It's boom. It's just, that's it. Want to know how I know about this was because I read something about the great fathers, the American type of thing. You know how they have the founding fathers? And it's like, even look at the Bible, that's a good example as well. And it was like how the devil became the devil was because of jealousy and envy.
Yeah.
It was
He
something.
wanted the throne.
Yeah, he wants the throne. Look at the Lion King with Scar. He kills his brother. He literally kills his brother to get the throne. And if you see the movie, like he's holding his brother's head in his. He eats his brother.
Yeah, he eats him. Yeah.
With the hyenas, Merc.
Yeah.
He eats his own.
You see his bones and shit.
How crazy is that? And that's all for success. All for an image. All for people break friendships for that. Yeah. People stab people in the back for that. But yo, like what happened to Merc, when they need someone that you know, hey yo, I'm Mercaset's friend.
Yeah. Yeah, legit.
But what's the first thing your friend, like the person that they reached out to, what do? They message you. Right? And they go, yo, like, who is this guy? And I feel like Merc is very similar to me, where we let him, like, I have my own opinion on him. If you want to do the job, do the job. Because I feel like Merc's like that. He's gonna still want to see his friend, his old friend, or anything like that win. Just because they're not friends doesn't mean that. Just because they're not friends now doesn't mean that he still doesn't want to see him win. You know what I mean, Mac? Do you feel that way?
Bro, of course, bro. Like, we're all put on this earth for like a reason, and it's all love. Like, I never try to, put anyone else down because, like, I'm on the same boat as you. Like, we're all put on this earth for something. So,
and that's how I feel towards people. Like, you remember what happened with at Pastor Mike, where I was saying to Merc, oh my god, this conversation is gonna be interesting because I haven't seen this person in 2 years. And I noticed Merc was watching me because he's like, oh, like, is SB about to get in shit? Like, what's gonna happen? And I talked to this guy like a man. like, yo, I don't fuck with your energy. That's why I don't fuck with you. I'm like, you know what? I'll face it. If he hits me, he hits me. But Blackbird's behind me.
Bro.
Like, I know the people around me, I don't have to ask for anything.
Mm.
And that's where I feel like a lot of people, where they feel like they're getting blackboard, is besides like cursor, I feel like a lot of people that get blackboard, like not blackboard, but they think they're getting blackboard. They're in their head.
Yeah.
They're in their head going, you know what? I'm just as good as them. Yeah, you might be just as good as anyone you want to be. There's one question. Do you sacrifice everything in your life to do what you love? A lot of people ask me, oh, bro, you just sit on a computer. Yeah, I sit on a computer with a $4,000 PC. Who the fuck paid for it? I did. What did I have to do? I didn't go to gigs. I didn't go out. I sacrificed. You take sacrifices. Like someone asked me, oh, you have an Xbox and a PlayStation. Oh, you filthy bastard. Nah, bro. I like playing games. And all my mates have either one or the other. So you get both. and plus, I make content with that. Bro, my best investment was what Mercaset said. When you start to invest in yourself. But it can work in many ways, not just mentally. Even items. Like, I wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now if I did not get this computer.
Bro.
If I didn't buy this webcam, everything of Kraayziie that I've ever have, I bought. I bought this microphone. But what did I have to do? Okay, I can't go to 3 to 4 gigs because, you spend money at gigs.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go, oh, that's selfish. Yeah, motherfucker. That's what it takes to... There's times you got to be selfish.
You have to be.
There's times where, when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to bettering yourself, you have to be selfish. You have to think of yourself. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just think about... Like, don't get me wrong. It's not bad to think about others. You know what I mean? Like, it's... Like, y'all know me. I care about people. I care about y'all. Like, I check up on you daily. Like, see... this is the perfect... How many people asked you... Oh, this one's gonna hit you like a motherfucker. How's lockdown going?
Wow.
How many people do you reckon they copied and pasted that to?
A lot.
Look at Merc. Well, Merc, when I talk to you, it's how you been? Like, how's the family? What have you been up to? It's not how's lockdown. Bro, I treat you and Blackbird like we're not living in lockdown.
Exactly.
Because what it does is it makes you forget about lockdown for a bit.
Mm.
And I remember Merc's like, yo, you need to come over. I'm like, bro, I can't. I'm like, okay, I'm not 5 kilometers within you. And he was like, damn, like, and you remember that. But sometimes it's good to get away from that. And like, I feel like whenever we talk to each other in the group chats and all that stuff, we forget it. You fucking, you eat shit all the time. Yo, Merc, just come through. And you're just like, I wish I could, my G. I wish I could. It's just like, and that's that thing. It's like, I feel like at times in life, you need that. You need to forget about what's going on in the real world. And I feel like I feel like for all of you, that's what music does.
Yeah.
Merc,
It's a new
why are you
dimension.
always fucking around? You want to forget
Right.
the real world. You want to be in your own world.
Be in the zone, bro. It's like a certain zone you're in.
It's like you black out
It's-
and you forget how long you've been actually
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like when we talk to each other on the group chat, on the video call, do you remember when we noticed what time it was?
We'll be going till like 5 a.m.
I remember me and Merc had a conversation. We started at 8 p.m. We finished at like 6 a.m.
Right.
And Merc's like, I gotta go to sleep, my guy. And he's like, bro, have you seen what time it is? And I look, I'm like, oh shit. And you're like, what's wrong? He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I have to go to sleep. I have a fucking appointment in like an hour. It's like, shit, I have to stay up now. I'm like, I can't even go to sleep
Yeah,
because I'm not waking up until like 6 hours later.
Yeah. As soon as like Astoria are in the Cobra, I legit like in my mind it's like, alright, you're gonna be up till like 6 a.m. The journey's about to start.
Wasn't that
It's
why
like I'm
you
about to
set?
take
Isn't
acid,
that why
bro.
you set that alarm thing or whatever it is? Like you set it up. You're like, all right. Well, this is the thing that I'm gonna need to wake up because we're gonna be here all night, all morning.
Legit.
Even yeah, and I got
acid trip, bro.
I got one more question for you. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
User, what's one word of advice that you've used in your life that you would leave with the listeners today?
Don't be a clone, man. It's my go-to. Don't be
Yeah.
a fucking clone.
Huh?
Be yourself. Be
Yeah, be
truthful. And people will love you who you are in the long long run compared to the short run of you trying to be somebody else.
Shot round, bumper.
Yeah, bro. The same. I'm on the same thing. Like be search internally in yourself, and
I need a real
find
gun
your
to shoot.
reasons to be alive and shit. Like everything is deep within, so like you can only get so much externally, but internally in yourself you can really go places in life and explore. So
Definitely.
exploration, like yeah.
Yeah, life's about
Evolution.
opening doors. 100%, bro. And there's a million doors out there. It's just a matter of like opening the right one instead of like we were just talking about earlier, killing for the throne, like killing somebody for a throne instead of opening their own
Yeah.
door. They're trying to like kill for this door that belongs to somebody else.
Yeah, that's
Jeez. Mine would be
that's
awareness.
something, bro.
Like you said,
Yeah.
awareness, bro. You have to
Yeah.
be aware in every type of way. Be aware of your words. Be aware of your actions. Be aware of yourself. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. Have you ever heard of mirror gazing?
You stare in a mirror. Stare at yourself.
Yeah, like you look into your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for like
Yeah,
7
yeah.
minutes, and like you see
Bruh.
something trippy. It's like have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, like some like demonic like version of it. But like yeah, man, like I used to like look at myself when I was a kid, bro. I used to stare at myself for like up to 20 minutes or like an hour sometimes.
Like, have you ever seen images?
No,
or
I haven't
anything?
seen images.
Bruh. It's a form of meditating. It's literally a science behind it.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
I'll explain it off stream, or when we have a part 2. I have a mate come on named Joey, because he has this fucking thing. He does it to everyone that he meets. And if I tell you the people that have done this, you just would do it like in a heartbeat. I can't name him
Yeah.
because it's like he's done it with so many people, like big artists.
Yeah. Wow.
And what it is, it's very eye-opening. It's an eye-opening experience. I've kind of witnessed it before in my life, but never to the extent that he was talking about. It's really fucking dope. It's one of the dopest things I've ever heard in my life. I've tried it once and I had to get myself out of it because it literally feels like a trip and you're not on anything. You see shit that form you. Really deep. It's fucking deep as a motherfucker. But yeah, I feel like finding yourself is a key. Being aware, like I said, of your action. Like, see how careful I was about how I was talking about that.
Yeah.
I can't really explain the science. You just have to do it. It's literally just an action thing. Like, he was trying to explain it to me and I could barely understand. I was like, what? And he's like, nah, you have to do it. And I'm like, okay, one day I'll do it, just not now. Like, it's just that it's being open and being aware of your surroundings, the people that you're around, the way that they talk.
Yeah.
The way that they talk about people. Like, what I like about our whole group, like when I talk to yous, when I talk to Johnny, we don't bring up other people's names in a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah.
Like, we'll praise them, but we never talk about them in a bad way ever, unless someone asks what are true feelings about this person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean,
like
man?
what vibe, what energy,
Merc's
like how you
Merc's
feel.
vibey. Merc's like, why didn't we do this sooner? Like, why have I not been on this before? Hey, Merc.
Bro, we out here, bro. Like, bro, it's just like that's the thing. Constantly evolving, constantly reaching for a version of myself that's like higher in a sense, you know. And time's always going forward, so like, yeah, I take everything as a lesson and keep going and utilize everything around me, and you know, like I'm appreciative of like where I'm at, so I'm blessed and thankful.
Alright, I got one more thing to ask. Where can they find you? Like on social?
Where can they find me?
Yeah, let them know. And I'll put it in the bio.
You go Blackbird. You go Blackbird.
Find me on Instagram as Punk with the Funk, like WITDA. That's on like all platforms like Twitter, Instagram. Punk with the Funk, WITDA. With the. A lot of people get it wrong because they think with the TH and like.
Yo, me and you the same, duh. SP rep, duh, crazy.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, that's where you'll find me on SoundCloud and Spotify.
Yeah.
You'll see me as Blackbird.
You got anything coming out soon?
Yeah, I got a mixtape coming out on October 13th. It's called The Cross and the Switchblade, and it's crazy, man. It's about just the duality of like heaven and hell, light and darkness, and it's crazy shit. I want to make a video or like a story of me talking about it.
Bro, you should do a fucking. Bro, fuck. I just forgot about Thing. I just forgot about Lockdown. For fuck's sake. I was like, you should make a short movie about it. But fuck, we
That's
can't.
actually what we're doing. That's actually the plan.
Yes.
I'm actually making the movie out of it. Each music video is gonna be connected.
Yes.
And it's gonna be like one big movie. And
Let's go.
Like a full movie version.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
the plan.
What about you, Merc? Where can I find you?
You can find me in Blacktown, Kildare Road.
Oh shit, they're all
Pull up
pulling up to
my
your crib now.
nah.
200 people.
Y'all find me like on Instagram, like virtually, like Mercaset. This Mercaset. And yeah, I just like to like on Earth currently, it's raining outside. And yeah, like what we really out here, man.
I love it how he says that. We out here, bro.
The video in the group chat I sent y'all.
Oh my god. And as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, out here, man.
Merc,
Really out
where,
here, man.
do you have anything you're working on, music wise?
Um
Or have you dropped
I'm working
anything recently for them to check out?
well, I'd say I'm working on a project called Puppet Strings.
Woo!
And it just happened to be that like I'm really into like playing like all these instruments and learning like the whole door opening concept and exploration. So like I'm learning to play guitar, electric, ukulele, like whatever. Like I've been playing piano, and then yeah, like with this next project, hopefully like looking back on this, be like, like once the project is done, it's it's really one of those points in my life where I just utilized everything, especially in the, everything that I've learned and still learning. And when the project is done, to be able to hear it and go back to that feeling and have a sense of comfort or foundation in the music. So, yeah, hopefully, I mean, so. Bro, I'm really trying, bro. I'm really trying. Until my
Speaking
brain
in
is like,
tongues.
yeah, bro. I was speaking in tongues, bro. Like, I'm pretty much an alien. Like, I'm an alien. I'm not from this planet.
Yeah, that's why we're friends.
Bro, facts. That's why when people call us weird, we just accept it. I hate that. People
Nah,
like, bro, I can't believe people call me weird. I'm like, bro, that's a compliment.
It's a good thing, man.
oh, that's it, bro. I like that shit.
It's a good thing,
I
bro.
don't like
Fuck with
being,
weird
Yeah.
people.
I don't like being called normal.
I try to be far from
Yeah.
normal all the time, man.
Yeah.
But not
I-
even that. What is the definition of normal? What is a
Exactly,
normal
man.
person?
Bro, being normal is
heard.
being a bot,
Being a bot,
being a
man.
robot, like,
Like-
doing the same shit.
Like when
Everybody else is
I
doing.
watch a lot of these like thrillers and stuff like that. Have you noticed all the killers and crazy motherfuckers be the normal people?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's just a normal guy that lived a normal life. And it's
Legit.
like, they're like the craziest fucking cunts that like kill people and shit.
Legit, man. Killing their parents in their sleep.
It's crazy, eh? It makes just like, what the fuck? That's true. I love talking to Merc because you recognize when he's starting to connect. And it's like, it's
Facial
all
expression.
registering in his head. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so cool. But yo, I appreciate y'all for jumping on, man.
Nah,
Fucking
bless you
No, I
for
love
having me,
y'all.
bro.
appreciate you for existing.
Oh, what a compliment, bro. Oh,
Man,
Shout out
for
to
real.
Kraayziie, man.
that means the fucking world to
Shout
me,
out
bro.
to you.
I felt like it was right to have you both on it together.
Alright.
Because I remember, was I talking to you about it?
You were talking to me about it, I think.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have you on it. No, it was both. Because I said
Alright.
to Merc, I was like, I go, who do you want to be on it with? And he's like, I don't mind. He goes, I can do it on myself, on my own. And I was like, what about with Blackbird? Because you are always together.
Yeah.
Like, you understand each other in a way that only used to ever understand. And like,
Legit.
Yeah.
and I was saying to him like how we all cross each other. Like, I know Merc because of the whole GYB thing, but I know
Yeah.
you because of Merc. Merc
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
on. Besides you messaging me, Merc would message me about you. He would always bring you
That's
up.
interesting.
He'd be like,
Plot
yo,
twist.
like, you need to check out Punk. Like, Punk's got some dope stuff. And Johnny and Bart would always bring you up. They'll be like,
That's
yo,
so
like, you need to
nice,
check out Punk. And I'm like, who the fuck is Punk?
man.
I'm like, who? And they're like, and when I remember getting messages, but yours was just, at that, it was Punk, but it would show up to me as Blackbird.
Yeah.
Because
Like
if
the artist. Yeah.
it shows up as the artist, like if your username is like, if you have Punk, like mine, like, or here's Punk with the Funk, and in the little description thing you have Blackbird pops up on the messages. So there's times Merc messages me and it has numbers. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I look at the profile picture and it's Merc. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, I appreciate y'all for jumping on, man. I felt like this was due.
Yeah.
It was
Nah, I appreciate you for being you.
Yeah, man.
It's a blessing.
I love
Crazy
you.
is the key, bro. That's what I say, man.
Hey!
Yeah, man.
See, I say this to a lot of people. I don't have to toot my own horn. My family and my mates do that for me.
Yeah.
The people that have impacted their life, they do that shit for me. Facts. Gang, gang, we out here. Go on, man. Go on, man.
Wait, stop.
Stop what?
Nah, good.